As one of his last orders of business, outgoing President Joe Biden pardoned notorious gain-of-function researcher and pandemic profiteer Anthony Fauci. The move is said to have been an effort to safeguard the doctor who claimed to be the science against revenge by incoming President Donald Trump.
It's very dangerous, Chuck, because a lot of what you're seeing as attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science. Because all of the things that I have spoken about consistently from the very beginning have been fundamentally based on science. Sometimes those things were inconvenient truths for people, and there was pushback against me. So if you are trying to, get at me as a public health official and a scientist, you're really attacking not only Dr. Anthony Fauci, you're attacking science. And anybody that looks at what's going on clearly sees that. You have to be asleep not to see that. That is what's going on. Science and the truth are being attacked.
Though Biden said the pardon should not be mistaken as an acknowledgement that any individual engaged in wrongdoing, nor should acceptance be misconstrued as an admission of guilt for any offense, it begs the question, why does anyone who is innocent need to be preemptively pardoned? Indeed, Biden took his pardoning power to a new extreme by pardoning people who haven't even faced investigation, and the Independent Medical Alliance isn't going to take this line down. Formerly known as the FLCCC Alliance, spokeswoman Lynn Christensen released the following. Fauci led the ivory tower medical establishment in a shameful COVID response, which serves as a wake-up call to frontline doctors across the globe. Before reminding everyone of the cornerstones of the COVID cultists led by Fauci, like silencing accomplished doctors and threatening them with the loss of their practice and financial ruin if they spoke out against Fauci's mandates, government agencies collaborating with social media companies to silence any opposing views about the novel injections and the COVID response, coercing millions with the threat of job and livelihood loss into an untested experimental, and they call it dangerous, vaccine, which, despite Fauci's insistence, did not stop people from getting COVID-19. Families were threatened with the removal of their children if they did not take the injection. Effective alternatives were blacklisted by Fauci's team, denying millions of Americans from accessing cost-effective, readily available, life-saving alternatives. Family members denied the right to say goodbye to their dying loved ones. Schools closed, causing generational and developmental harm to children. The very fabric of public trust in the medical community was shredded by Fauci. The statement goes on to say that investigating Fauci wasn't about getting him, but rather about ensuring this kind of knee-jerk, hysterical, and harm-inducing response never happens again. We need to ensure there are safeguards in place to prevent someone like Anthony Fauci from having the raw power and dictatorial mandates to ever again undertake such horrific and shameful actions, it concludes. The Independent Medical Alliance is right to sound the alarm. Fauci's actions did far more than damage individual careers or reputations. They caused real, lasting harm to millions of people around the world. From silencing dissenting voices and coercing millions into taking experimental vaccines to denying life-saving treatments and subjecting families to unimaginable grief, Fauci's legacy is one of suffering, and yet Biden chooses to protect him rather than hold him accountable for the devastation that unfolded under his watch. We'll see if Trump follows suit or does anything to change the outcome of all of this. For Rebel News, I'm Tamara Ugolini. If you'd like to see sweeping bureaucratic reforms here in Canada, like those that Trump has announced in his inauguration, then head on over to slashthebureaucracy.com. There you can send a form email to the leader of the opposition, Pierre Poilievre, urging him to slash the bureaucracy. All of that at slashthebureaucracy.com.